Hi, Michael. How's the mood this week? Focused, I imagine?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it's one game. Everything at stake, all on the line, everything to play for. So yeah, largely focused, motivated. Everything is expected this time when we work all season to have an opportunity towards the end. And, we've had all sorts of different feelings and ups and downs over recent weeks, but this is where we are, and it's a massive game. With the way it's fallen, the situation. So yeah, massively looking forward to the game.
It's really unusual in a league campaign that you get a game where it's just kind of as simple as this for you, really. You have to win.
Yeah, it is exactly that. It's doesn't make it any easier, of course, but in terms of preparing for the game and managing the game as it's going on, and there's not any ifs and buts for us. It's pretty clear what we need to do. So yeah, in terms of focus, like you said, it's there. It's all in front of us, and it's what we're preparing for.
In terms of the team you've got to beat, Coventry, what are your thoughts on them? I suppose specifically maybe the second half of the season since Frank's taken over.
Yeah, Frank's done a fantastic job. Mark had done for a number of years as well, and carried that on, and some got a really good squad, good players. They've proven that over a number of years, and the different successes they've had in the FA Cup, and then the run they've gone on with Frank, and so yeah, I'm not surprised to see them up there. I thought they would end up in and around that towards the end of the season, and credit to them for that. They've put a good run together, and they are where they are around us, and yeah, it'll be a good game, I'm sure.
If things are going well, will you have somebody on the bench listening out for what's happening elsewhere?
We need to win, so that's it. It's elsewhere doesn't matter until after the game, really. So no, it's, for this one, no.
Obviously, you'll know Frank very well. How does it work in these situations when there's so much at stake for both teams, and it is someone you know? I mean, is it just, do you blank each other? Do you wait till the end of the game? How do you do that?
I think, listen, I've actually known Frank since I was 13 at West Ham, and came through behind him and kind of through the School of Excellence in the youth team, and moved on from West Ham. So we go quite a long way back. I've also played against him in some big games, as big as you can get in terms of Premier League and Champions League, and there's that. It's definitely the competitiveness. There's a huge respect. I've respected him from the very first time I trained with him, and seeing how his attitude and his mentality to the game, and how that was as a young lad, and what kind of player he was. So knowing him personally, of course, but coming up against him, we've kind of covered a lot of bases. This one's obviously is a different one, but it's not so much me against Frank. It's certainly the two football clubs, the two teams on the pitch, and that kind of respect is definitely competitive as well.
When you reach the 46th game of the Championship season, a lot's gone on, a lot of water's gone under the bridge. Do you clear your mind of all that this week?
Yeah, we have to. I think certain things you can, and I say clear your mind, I think there's certain things that we know what works for us, and we know what we're good at, and we need to try and get the best out of ourselves, and we know what we can do when we do that, and how we can play. So there's that side of it, but in terms of the results and the emotion side of it, I think it's pretty clear, and going into one game as positive as we can possibly be, exciting. It's still if what can be achieved is the thing that's dangling in front of us that we need to try and grab, and so all of that, controlling the emotions and controlling the game, and controlling the situation as much as we can in such a one-off game is going to be important.
And you just want everything, absolutely every element on the same page, don't you? Everything going well, everyone fit, fans absolutely 100% behind you in the away end and that kind of thing. Everybody's got to be pointing in the same direction. Yeah,
and we are for the game. I think certainly as a group, as players and supporters travelling down there, and excited, looking forward to the game, understanding what we're up against, what they're in, what the situation is for everybody, but for ourselves, that energy and that connection, that togetherness, and that we got to bounce off each other, feed off each other, and try and achieve it all together.
And it does have that kind of cup final feeling because, I mean, whatever people could say about the season and chances taken, chances not taken, none of that matters when it kicks off on Saturday, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's part of the story. It's part of the journey. It's why we find ourselves as well as the other teams. This is a stage where we're at in terms of league position. But yeah, that's it. You know, it's clear decks, one-off game. Everything we've got for that, manage it right, be ready for it. Understand that there's probably going to be ups and downs within the game. There's come the end of the game in some way. It's going to be probably a little bit hectic for both of us needing something from the game. So yeah, I don't think it'll be a calm one anyway.
Where does it compare, this match, with all of the ones that have gone before during time here in terms of importance?
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the stage where it's kind of the last league game and everything's to play for, then we've not had that. You know, when we got in the playoffs, we were already there at that stage. In terms of once you get into the playoffs, then they're obviously massive moments. You know, we've had the semi-final of the cup, which was massive. And now I think the next one's always feels like the biggest, you know, and what's gone in the past is gone in the past, and because you're in it, you're living it, you're in the moment, and all your emotions kind of guided and pushing towards that. So it always feels big, always feels important, and because of what's at stake again, and with it being the final league game and scenarios, it's definitely as important as we've ever played.
Talking earlier about how you played big Premier League, Champions League games, obviously the same applies to Frank, but can you use that in the build-up and during to kind of, you know, to help your players really, because you know you're no stranger to the big occasion as a player?
Yeah, there's certainly the experience side of it. You know, I'm not standing in front of the lads and storytelling different things of this is what happened to me and what I've done. I think it's a little bit of guidance, a bit of understanding of what the feelings and the emotions that the boys will be going through come Saturday, and how we manage the game, as I said there, about the flow of the game and the ups and downs and things that might happen in the game, and what do we need to do towards the end of the game. All of that side of things, kind of experience helps with, so we'll help the boys in that respect.
And just finally from me on the fans, you know, it's going to be a sold out away end. They can play a massive part, can't they?
Fans have a massive impact on the players, and the boys feeling that support gives them, you know, the ultimate boost. It's the best feeling in the world as a footballer to have the support behind you, loud and supportive and energetic, and we're going to need every bit of that on Saturday. We're obviously going down there, they've got everything to play for. They'll have more supporters than us, it's their home patch, but we got to make the most of everything we've got, and certainly our supporters going down there, they've been unbelievable since day one, since I've came here, and away support is absolutely incredible. So it's up to all of us to try and make this one a good day.
Thank you.
Just on the injury front, Michael, is there any updates there?
Rav have trained a little bit this week, back in around the group, so that's a positive.
Yeah, and with Riley, I know you mentioned last week that he'd been to see a specialist. You were hoping to kind of try and get to the bottom, if there was anything to get to the bottom of. Do you feel that has? Yeah,
he's back training really, so and looks good, you know, looks fine. So yeah, we're hopeful. Obviously, it's coming right to the end of the season, but to have him back with the groups is good for us.
Yeah, and Neto obviously was back on the bench, hadn't done much training. Has he been able to do much?
Yeah, he's trained with the boys this week a little bit. You know, obviously it's a little bit of keeping everything fresh as well in the boys, and getting that balance right. But yeah, he's backing around it, so it's good to have him back as well.
Yeah. Just last one on that one, away from the game a bit. Ben Doe confirmed on Saturday that he wouldn't be coming back. His injury has ended his season. Just to start off with, how good was he, and how good a loan move was that for this football club? Yeah,
I mean, it was good. It was successful both ways, I think. In general, obviously unfortunate the way it kind of got cut short at the time it did, and for how long. But yeah, listen, Ben had a good impact for us. He had a big impact for us, and I think he's come for him personally as well. And for Liverpool, I think everyone, and he found a benefit from it. just would have been nice for it to be a little bit longer, but that's football, you know, and we've had injuries through the season, and players have come in and out of the team at different stages. It's just something you've got to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, not in any way to knock any of the other players who've been in the team since, but do you think losing Ben when you did has had, you know, quite a big impact on the season?
I just think that's the flow of seasons, you know, and we've got good players, and there's still time, and there's still for players to make a big impact, if not a bigger impact than we've had all season. So that's just how it is, you know. There's players in different positions that have come in and out. That's just part of the squad.
You spoke there about obviously this being a one-off game and kind of like a cup final, and you've played in many games like that yourself. You spoke about your own experiences. What for you is the mentality that you need as a player going into a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the belief, really, and then being able to just cope with the emotion of the day. I think it comes down to a lot of that, you know, and it can go in different ways, you know, in terms of the different challenges, how the game's going to go, and it is about that. Yeah, there's certainly the tactical bit, there's the things we want to try to do and what we're good at, and we want to try and put those into place to give us, you know, as best chances we can have. But it is about how you cope, how you deal with it, the emotional side, the emotional control side, and that's in the moment, you know. That's the beauty of it. That's sport. That's the atmosphere in the stadium and the feeling and the tension, a bit of maybe anxiety with momentum and noise and whatever. That's top level sport, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah, at the obviously at the end of season awards during the week, and part of that Brian Robson was back, someone who you know obviously very well as it gets for that. Did you have a chance to speak to Brian at all? Maybe take a bit of words of wisdom or advice there?
No, yeah, I spoke to Robbo. Yeah, I see him now and again, and he just wished us all the best, you know, as you'd expect. It was nice to see him. He was in good form and looking well, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and obviously on the night Hayden won Player of the Year and also Player of the Year. I mean, for you, how deserved is that? How good has Hayden been for you this season?
Yeah, he's been good. I think he's been pretty consistent as well, which you know, we had a really good first season, little stop-start second season with injuries and finding his form, but I think he's shown his quality really over a long period of time this season, and a natural kind of next phase of his career after the first couple of years, you know, and showed what he's all about. He's obviously an important player for us. He's had a big impact, and fully deserved them awards. Yeah,
obviously bigger fish to fry this weekend before that comes along, but naturally a lot of talk, a lot of, you know, kind of interested parties in him from higher divisions. Do you think you're in a position where you can keep him?
Let's just look at Saturday first, yeah.
But obviously that is going to be a talking point.
Not this week though.
No. So you've just got a complete...
Saturday's massive game. Nothing else matters right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
On Saturday then, Michael, how difficult is the balance to strike between it being a one-off game that can go in lots of different ways, and potentially you as head coach, the players that can't even have to think on their feet and deal with the way the game's going, as against sticking to kind of what you do, what your team does, what you've done all season? How do you get the balance with that? Because
yeah, to be honest, that's the ultimate balance when it comes down to these type of games. You know, if you want to achieve something, you want to go somewhere, there's going to be times when you've got to go with it and make the most of it, and you've got to adapt and adjust and find a way to navigate your way through the game, you know, and as I said, the emotion, the feeling, that's natural, that comes with it. It should come with it because it means something and it's special, and it's how you cope with that, you know. But certainly knowing, and the default or the kind of falling back to what you know and what you trust and what you know others around you are going to do, it definitely helps, that you're not on your own out there fighting your own battle, and that's kind of what all the work we do over time to try and give ourselves that best chance. But yeah, without doubt, there's times in the game and the stadium and how it's going to feel, hopefully in different ways, and positive towards us, if anything. Yeah. But we need to be ready to be flexible there.
And do you feel that one of the things you have got is, you know, you do have match winners potentially at the top end of that pitch? We've seen it at times this season. You know, whoever you end up putting out there, you know, you've got the capability to win the game.
That gives me all the belief, to be honest. You know what the players can do and the capabilities and the potential and the moments that we can produce. sometimes we've produced them, sometimes we haven't produced them, but to have the feeling of knowing that it's there and we've got players that can do it is hugely encouraging for me, and that'll give them the confidence as well, you know. And we always feel we're in games. Yeah, certain times we haven't maybe done enough. Some other times we've looked really, really good, you know. So got to put it all together on Saturday.
Yeah. And I know, you know, we've talked about the kind of dynamics of it. You as a player would have been in situations like Borough are in, where it's pretty cut and dry, you've got to win the game. You'll also have been in situations like Coventry are in, where they probably have to win the game, but actually there are scenarios where they might not. Does that come into it at all? Because you've said you can completely ignore the results. Frank, in the last 10 minutes, it's maybe not so easy depending on the way the game's going from a Coventry point of view, because other results might affect them more.
Yeah, quite possibly. Honestly, it doesn't affect us though. So we got to look after ourselves. So it's really what do we need to do? What's in front of us? And as I've said, it's straightforward for us. How that affects other teams, the other teams in and around us, Coventry. That's not really our focus. You know, it's we know what the job that we've got to do. And it's as simple as that, really.
And just last for me, what would be your last? You know, we talk about the fans going down there, and the Borough fans have been brilliant away from home all season. I have absolutely no doubt that they'll go there full of optimism. But you know, it hasn't been a kind of great last month. You've been in the playoffs, you've been out of the playoffs. You know, there'll be some going who were thinking, in my heart, I'd like to say we can do it. My head's maybe saying no. What would be your message, your final message to them?
A sport, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
Sport. Some people see the opportunity in front of them and thrive off it and get a buzz off it and love it, look forward to it. Other people see it as a bit of a and get scared by it, you know.
Yeah.
That's natural. It's a human kind of feeling. So we're going down there excited, you know. The supporters, I'm sure, come down with the optimism of knowing what we can do when we're at our best, the players in moments, and how we can perform, and the opportunity that's in front of us, you know. And that's why we're in the game. It's why we support the team we support, because you love the ups, and the downs are part of it, but you love the ups and you're chasing that next one, and there's always that next opportunity around the corner that you've got to look forward to and be ready for, and hopefully this is it.
Do you believe you can do it, mate?
Serious?
Yeah, no, do the players believe? Do you believe?
Of course, yeah. So one game, everything's on at stake, you know. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, I'm not disrespecting Coventry, but of course they'd say the same thing. We're going down there full of optimism, looking forward to it. I totally believe in the players. We've showed it before, we've showed it enough over the course of the season as a group, as individuals. You've got to pick the right time to produce it.
And have you had to pump the optimism into the players this week, or is it there?
No, they're fine.
And have you done anything different this week?
No, it's at the end of the season, it's the time where it is, it's a little bit of freshness, keeping the energy, keeping not overdoing it. We've had some nice weather as well, so it's you know, some of the boys, it's we don't want to overwork them in the heat, as simple as that may sound. So there's a little bit of getting the balance right. Of course, we've trained. The boys have been sharp, they've been focused, they're in a good place. So we've prepared for the game as much as any other game, with knowing that in the back of our minds we've got to be ready for the things I've just spoke about managing and thinking on our feet, and being ready for what the game brings.
You seem absolutely energised for this game, obviously. So is this why you're in management?
For games like this, yeah, 100%. 100%. It's why we love football. Like I say, you know, there's plenty of setbacks in the game, and believe me, you remember them. I remember most of mine. But then big highs and then moments where you feel it, for whatever it is, you feel it and you get excited by it. It's beauty of football and sport, and trying to get in and around them playoffs. You know, that's what it does. It must be mad, eh?
On a week like this, like last one, do you sleep normally? Do you get your head down? Or?
Yeah, no, I sleep good. No, I sleep good, to be honest. 10:30 lights out. Yeah, 6:30 wake up. Happy days. Yeah, I sleep really well.